All right, so in OBS is doing this little thingy with the auto capture now. I've got, well, Sarah, I'm not sure. It might have been OBS. So now I have to like wait because it says it's doing something. Oh no! The tiger has my back. The one you got to be afraid of is the tiger that's inside me. Hey, okay. So all this explanation. Think of a pool. I have to let the rage dissolve into the water. All right. So back to this explanation that I was giving that none of you heard because apparently my microphone was set to default because reasons. Like it decided to change. You don't make the decisions, OBS. I do, okay? I'm the one in charge, OBS. Ooh. All right, so I was talking about the image that I used for the thumbnail. It is actually a sculpture here that's held here in Chattanooga in the Montague Sculpture Park, which is a place that I love to go and walk. It's just really, really, well, it's really pretty, especially on a nice day. And I usually don't go there if it's not a nice day, because if it's crappy weather, I'll stay inside. And being a winter and all, I haven't gone there recently. Anyhow, I did pull up a page where the artist has his gallery of it. He's got several images. It's a statue called The Least Amount of Space. And on the page it says, a figure squats, head held in his hands, in this dramatic steel sculpture by Mississippi artist Jason Kimes. This outdoor sculpture is made from coin-sized discs of Corten steel, which naturally weathers over time, acquiring a beautiful rust-colored patina. Kimes' sculptures are designed to be subjects of contemplation. Quote, public art competes with every sound, color, movement, and any one of 1,000 other distractions, pulling a viewer's attention away from a still and quiet work of art. So I'm going to copy that link and paste it. Where am I pasting it? Somewhere into my notes. So that hopefully I will remember to put those in the descriptions for later so that you can see some additional pictures. Hi, everybody. Some additional pictures of that coming up a little bit later. You can take a look at that. So, yay, I'm so glad. This is my, third show, I think, and I finally remembered to tell you about the image that I had decided on for the thumbnail. So yay. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you're ever in the Chattanooga area, I highly recommend taking the time to go to Montague Sculpture Park. All right, so next, okay, please work. Hey, it worked. Okay, so now I have to scoot over a little bit because I was like really far over for it just being the whole thing, but not far over enough for it being like scooched in. So now I'm going to get started. It's so nice to see everybody in the chat. There's still a little bit of rage there. Okay, so the Saturday 6. Where are we? Here, scroll up. Hey, there's my title. Ta-da! Oops, wait. I forget. It's on that side of the screen for me, but it's on this side of the screen for you. Weird. Radical Bacon. Yes, there is a Chattanooga Choo-Choo, and I have been there. It is now, the train station for the Chattanooga Choo-Choo has now been transformed into a hotel, and there are a couple of businesses, like there's some restaurants and clubs in there. I think there's a restaurant. I think we've got 2 restaurants that I can think of. Stir is one, and something about a monkey. The Frothy Monkey and Stir are both in that area, and then there's a comedy club towards the back. They have like a warehousey area that has been used. We've used it for conventions. It's as the exhibit hall before, but I don't know if they're still doing that or not. But yeah, and then you can actually, if you stay there at the hotel, they have some regular like hotel spaces, and then they actually have some converted train cars that you can sleep in, and that's just really, I mean, it's not like, they're not big. It's kind of like going on a cruise, but it's fun. They have a very retro look to it, and they have like these little heaters, so like the room doesn't heat evenly, but it's fun and cool. So it's really enjoyable. So yeah, Chattanooga Choo Choo is the thing. And yeah, Chattanooga is a great place to come visit. It would. But the Frothy Monkey is really enjoyable. And then there are also several other restaurants just right there on Main, and I think that's Broad Street there. And it's just, there's an art gallery right at the corner. There is a New Orleans, anyway. But it's a New Orleans restaurant, and then there's the Hot Chocolatier, just like chocolates and hot chocolate, and it's delicious. Chattanooga Whiskey Company is right there, and then also the Terminal Brew House, great food, and Clumpy's Ice Cream, also great. I'm just sort of mentally going through the area. I love food, you guys. But speaking of things that I love, how about that transition? Let's get started with the actual Saturday 6. Things to be thankful for. Not OBS. Actually, I am. Honestly, I'm thankful for OBS because it's free and I like free. So, this is not quite, hang on guys, this is not, I didn't realize that the numbers weren't showing up. Well, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. So this has the number 1 on front of it in my computer screen, but you'll just have to trust me. This is my first thing for the Saturday 6. Yes, homebody. Although our cats aren't as likely to chew on our shoes as they are likely to pee on them. In either case, not optimal. So the first thing is, you may have heard about the graphic novel Mouse getting pulled from the curriculum in McMinn County, Tennessee. I've got a video coming up on that, by the way. I've written the script, haven't shot it yet, but I was just really pleased with how the script ended up coming out. The Jewish Federation of Chattanooga, there was a Jewish group in Chattanooga that was talking with some other community groups about, what they could do to address concerns about this. Because for me, I think the biggest talking point here is that this is not an isolated incident. It's been increasing really through the latter part of 2021. We really saw an uptick through the fall 2021 school semester. There were a lot of, I think the numbers that I pulled from my video said that there were 67% higher challenges and bans than in the same period in 2020. And that's definitely alarming. Now, it's just like a 3 or 4 month period. So, I mean, it could be an outlier, but as we're getting into 2022, we're seeing legislation that is pushing against or written in such a way that it's written to prohibit the use of literature or assignments that make students feel uncomfortable or guilty, especially based on their gender, sexuality, or race. And that is a larger problem. If legislation like that gets passed, obviously it's going to be challenged, but with a conservative SCOTUS, I definitely think that's part of the reason that they want to establish precedent that, this is okay. Not happy about that. So anyway, the Jewish Federation of Chattanooga was talking about, how can we address this? What can we do? And they got in touch with some of the teachers and students in McMinn County. And they also were able to get in touch with Art Spiegelman, who is the artist who created Mouse. And they set up a webinar. And I was lucky enough to be able to get to watch it live and participate. And it was listening to Art talk about his art that was moving. And it was interesting to hear him take the questions that had been submitted by students. The first one really, I mean, it stuck with me in ways that things mostly don't stick with me. Like, I'm really good at forgetting things, you guys. So the question was, if the adults in charge of our education are going to take these sorts of stories away from us, and they're not going to let us, or they're going to try to prevent us from having access to these personal stories, like these, I mean, this is not just a work of fiction, this is a memoir. You know, how can we know that what we're being taught is true? And he took a breath and kind of sat back and said, you can't. But I mean, that's always been true. And so essentially he discussed it for a while and talked about, some of his reasons for creating this particular story, this version that it came out episodically, I think, and then they realized they had that it was starting to get traction. They're like, okay, let's publish what we've got as a graphic novel, and it was actually published as Mouse Volume 1 and Mouse Volume 2 before it was collected together. Anyway, I'm kind of going in circles here. But the truth is, you don't know that what's being presented to you is accurate. But that was true before, So this is a reminder that you need to develop your own ability to question and examine and explore the information that's presented to you, which was really reassuring, hearing it from a creator, that it's not just, oh, don't listen to these grown-ups or, whatever. It was, this has always been the case, that, there's always been information out there that's like baloney, or it, is one-sided, or it misrepresents, it's using facts to twist the issue. So that was really nice. And Homebody, yeah, the show is uncomfortable. And that's something that I've been struggling with. One of Spiegelman's points was you don't have to shield kids from terrible things. Like, you look at the stories that kids really like, they got awful stuff in them. Like, I mean, like terrible, scary, horrifying stuff. Kids get the dark stuff. They understand that already. You don't, kids know there's really, really bad stuff out there in the world. You're not helping if you smother them with a cocoon. So, and that's something I've been thinking about really, well, I guess longer than this, honestly, as a teacher, because, you think about what's appropriate for your students, anytime you're lesson planning, honestly. You're thinking mostly in terms of skill level, especially at the high school level. Yeah. Because you don't want things to be so easy that they just aren't stretching and growing, or so easy that they're bored because they're like, we've done this before, Mrs. Cole. We already know how to do this. It's pointless. And, but at the same time, you don't want to present them with a task that is so far out of their skill level that, first of all, they're like, why should we bother trying? We're not going to be successful at this. Or that they just have no frame of reference. Like, they don't know how to approach the task because it's so far out of their ability. It is beneficial from time to time to Radical Bacon. Thank you for sticking around. And it's totally okay if you have to turn this off and come back to it because it's recorded. There's definitely value in, like, being introduced to something that you're not able to do for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's humbling. It reminds you that you don't have all of the skills in the world yet. And it gives you a framework for where you can go next as you increase your skill. It lets you know what's coming. Those are the big ones, to sort of see where things are going next, even if it's like, it's okay. Don't think that you have to get this. This is just what it looks like going forward. But at the same time, you don't want to, dump kids who can't swim in the deep end of the pool. That's just not nice. I mean, sure, there are kids who learn to swim that way, but it's a traumatic experience, and, they might not, no. So, and Steve, that's a good point. I don't quite think so in my experience growing up with a similar, well, not a similar culture, but like, this is that culture. I mean, McMinn County is in East Tennessee, and I'm in, Northwest Georgia, which is like right there. So, hi, Black Cover 95. I'm talking about it's not mirrored. I'm talking about the situation in McMinn County, Tennessee, where Mouse was pulled from their curriculum. And so it's not just the parents' own comfort. It is the parents wanting to hold on to the values and that they believe in and that they want to pass on to their children. And when the school presents lessons or materials that call those values into question, or especially cause or invite the children to question those values, parents do not like this. So it's not just for the parents' individual comfort, it's for the parents. It is about the kids. It's about what the parents think is appropriate for the kids, but not necessarily in the way that teachers are thinking about it. They're more thinking about it in terms of, preserving their family, and which is valid. But not every family has healthy values. And I think it's fair to question that. I've been no, actually, JD Lewis, I have bonus content this week. Yes. It's been that kind of a week. I don't know. I don't want to say surprisingly exactly. But there have been a number of parents' rights bills, in different states. Georgia's one of them. And I'm not keen on that for education. Because education is not for the parents, and it's certainly not just for the students either. And so therefore, it's obviously not just for the parents. But like, it creates such a fractured vision of what education should be. Education is a public good. It is public education. It's not like students' education or parents' children education. This tea is David's or Davidson's, and it is vanilla rooibos. So, and I have it in my library mug. Vanilla rooibos with sweetener and cream. So it's a nice little dessert tea. Lovely. Expensive news. Is there expensive news? Well, it was kind of expensive. I'll get to that at the end. So yeah, I'm not keen on the parents' rights, not because I think parents should have fewer rights, but school isn't about the parents' rights. It's about the community's investment in the young people of the community. And parents absolutely are a part of that, but they are an equal part of that. They should not get priority. Parents don't own their kids. People are not property. Your children, you don't own your children. You don't get to say, everything for your children. And especially dealing with 14, 15, 16-year-olds, that's something that, I think about a lot, is how much autonomy they should have. Scott G, exactly. But also, not just I don't want to live in a society of stupid people, but these are my kids too. These are the kids of my community. They're not, the children that I am raising, because as a society, we've decided that parents raise their children. But I think we've gone way too far in that direction, in that the community is hands off. And it shouldn't be that way. We should be more connected. And I think even at the most generous that I can be with the parents' rights bills, I'm not happy with them because they individualize us too much. They take us away from each other. I don't like that. That's not good. It's not healthy. It's not what's best. Whew. So, and yeah, parents do not like it when when students start thinking for themselves in such a way that takes them away from what the parents value. They don't like that. So, scrolling. Okay, so you may have seen this on the news or floating around social media. Dollywood's parent company, Herschel Enterprises, they're actually partnered with Dolly Parton, her corporation, in running Dollywood. And so the parent group, not parent group, but the parent corporation is offering continuing education for all of its employees, which is really interesting because it's not just the full-time employees, it's the part-time and seasonal employees as well, which is really cool. Now, there are some things to be aware of for this. It's not just that if you're working at Dollywood over the summer, you can go after a doctorate at Harvard. It's not quite that broad. They are working with I looked into it. They're working with an education group, and they don't offer like every degree that you could possibly want, but they do offer some advanced degrees. And I couldn't find out what universities they're partnered with. So if this is something that you find out about, and I think this is the case because what it looked like when I started looking into their education partner, this education partner was talking about continuing education, business supported education, for a number of businesses. So apparently they work with more than just Dollywood and Herschel Enterprises and things like that. So apparently this is like an ongoing thing. There are apparently a lot of corporations that are offering to support ongoing education. But it's not necessarily higher education and collegiate education the way that we would typically think of it. Obviously, like if you got a shift at Dollywood, you can't be in MIT at the same time. It's just not possible. So I'm not really sure what the continuing ed would look like. So it's definitely something positive, but it's kind of a mixed bag. It's definitely something that if anybody is looking into it, you want to make sure that you know what all the requirements are and what you have to fill out, what the time frame's like. Look into the details so that you know what you're getting into. But definitely some possibilities there. All right, number 3. Oh, this one is, let's see. Let's do, no, I don't want to text. I just want to go, can I go? If I add space, there we go. Now you can see all of it. Woohoo! Because like not all of I have it zoomed in some, like, and it cuts off pieces so that you don't see the little blue box that's around it because it's, yeah. Anyway. Apparently Steve knew what this was, and I was like, oh yay, it's like a program at the Y. Apparently this has been going on for like a long time. And because I was like, yeah, they even gave me a little bracelet, and it matches my Walrus bracelet, which I just got rid of on Sunday. And he's like, yeah, like Lance Armstrong. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So I completely missed that. But yeah, my local Y it's kind of like a little satellite branch because we're technically across the state line we're the North Georgia YMCA, but like Chattanooga is like right there. So we're partnered up with a bunch of YMCAs in Chattanooga because, anything else that's big, Atlanta's like an hour and a half to 2 hours away, depending on what part of Atlanta you're going to. Yeah, shoot, y'all are getting some patron content here. Well, I mean, not with swearing. I've decided what my first, oh, wait, that's another one. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. Yeah, it's the Lance Armstrong thing. So, yeah, so we're in an interesting place geographically in that we're in Georgia, but the nearest city is in Tennessee. So, getting anything going can be a challenge. So the North Georgia YMCA started the Livestrong program. I found out about it through the school. And I was like, okay, why not? And it's been really nice. So far, there are 3 other women who are part of the program. There might be another guy who's coming and another woman who's coming, like next week. Yep, I'm going to save it. And Steve, that was something that I was thinking about, the whole, and especially in terms of the Olympic, doping and drugs conversation that's been going on. There are definitely things, it raises the question of not so much when is it cheating. Obviously, it's cheating if they say, here's what you're allowed to do, here's what you're not allowed to do, and you do the thing you're not allowed to do. Obviously. But especially in terms of athletic performance, when you get into the higher end, there are all kinds of resources that a well-funded athlete is going to have access to that someone from a country or any sort of group with fewer resources is not going to have access to. More aerodynamic bikes, the types of sneakers that you wear when you're running, all of those sorts of things, they matter. The access that you have to it during your training as you're growing up, that matters. And, I've been thinking about it a lot. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, Yeah. It's hard sometimes. People come down really hard on cheaters. And I think sometimes it's not quite as cut and dried as we'd like it to be. I think that's all I've got on that so far. I'm sort of I'm feeling very uncertain about, what I think about the Russian skater, I think she is. And she's 15 and, there's a doping scandal but, she's sort of been bullied into it, pushed into it by the state, her trainers. Yeah. And then, of course, the comparisons to Shikari, it's just, and why is this one okay or not really acceptable, but not disqualifying, and the other one is. There are lots of important conversations to have there. It's not as cut and dry as anyone's making it. So, getting involved with this program has been really nice. I am well out of my cancer journey, but, and I talked with the program coordinator about this, and she was just like, we welcome, first of all, it's fine. It's not against the rules. And we'd be glad to have you. And since there are only, when I started, there were only 3 other women in it, I'm glad to be there so that they could actually do the program. We actually pushed it back so that we could get enough people in so that we could do it. So I'm definitely glad to be able to support them in, adding programs to what they're able to offer to the community. But also, I'm hoping that being there provides other women, somebody who's been through it and been out the other side. Yeah, Scott, I saw that on Twitter in mine. I don't want to set myself up as a role model, but just in the sense of just, I'm not the only person who's been through this. There are so many, cancer has affected so many people, and not everybody gets through it. And it's definitely a challenge, but you've gotten through it. I think the other women, I think they're all finished with treatments, and we can keep going. And that life does continue, and it can get even better. It's okay to miss what's gone, but don't lose sight of the fact that what comes ahead might be even better. So I'm hoping that I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be a role model, but I mean, I would love to, but I don't want to put myself in that position. I'm hoping that I can be encouraging, at least. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Scrolling. Next. Okay, so this was also in the news. So one of my favorite characters is Barbara Gordon. And she was paralyzed for a long time. I don't know. Was she paralyzed longer than Jason Todd stayed dead? I don't know. But it was a long time, and then they finally, at one point, or just recently, they were just like, okay, so we decided she got better. Thank you, Sarah. It's hard in terms of, with cancer, because I don't want to be like, well, I'm like who you should be, because in this case, everybody's, especially with like my experience, not everybody is going to have it as easy as I did with cancer. I mean, cancer's not easy in general. Like, that was not as easy as, I don't know, coming up with a really good lesson plan. Let me tell you, that's easy for me. I'm good at that. But, I mean, I was really lucky to catch the cancer early. Not everybody does. So, I don't want to give people, a false narrative. Oh, it's not so bad. Sometimes it's bad. So, aw, thank you. So, anyway, back to this particular issue. The spinal cord transplant. It was with, I think, mice. And they were able to get mice who had been completely paralyzed to regain full use of their limbs, which is really cool. They had, the more recent the injury was, the better their results. I think with an injury that was 6 months prior for the mice. Again, some of that may also be affected by the fact that mice don't live as long as people do. So IDK. But they had like an 80% success rate with mice who had an injury, 6 months prior. So not complete success. Yeah. The early detection, it's so helpful. So they're talking about the possibility of working with human patients in the next few years. Yeah, it's big news, kind of scary, to be honest, because the treatment is likely to be very expensive. So then, of course, it raises the question of, if we can't afford to provide it to everybody, who should get it, and things like that. So there are definitely some social and issues to consider there. But just in terms of the medical advancement, it's pretty cool. So, number 5. So this is what I goofed on earlier. I have a Patreon, you guys, and I'm really excited about it. I would love to have you go and look at my intro video, which I'm so happy about. It's on YouTube, but it's not publicly available. You actually have to go to my Patreon, which I think is in the description now. I don't think I'll have to add it later. It hopefully is already there. Otherwise, I'll add it later. And you can go and look at that first little video, which Steve did. I did a little intro thing, and I was like, I wanted to do this, and Steve made it do that, and that was just really cool, and I really appreciate it. Okay, Sarah. Yeah, well, Black Cover 95, not necessarily. And those are some of the conversations that we need to have now, and so that, hopefully it can be at least somewhat equitable. I don't know. So breathing. Yeah, it's kind of stressful to think about really anything to do with medical care, honestly. Sarah, I can't wait. You will have to let us know how authentic it is or, isn't. So email me. Okay. I want to hear I want to read your review. Bye. So yeah, I have a Patreon. And so I've decided that what my first video is going to be, all ongoing Patreons will get access to what I call the swear jar, which will be little videos that I do. And this is because of Sarah, actually. I'm blaming Sarah because Sarah said that I'm apparently somebody who doesn't swear. And I'm just like, what? No, I just don't swear on camera. Because, anybody can see it. I got a job. And, just in the local culture where I'm teaching, that's we don't use that kind of language. It's not professional. So yeah, they're going to be Eric-y. That's okay. I can. Oh, if there's no mods here, nobody can stop me from clicking on the bots. Yeah. I will finally punch those buttons. So, I've decided that my first video is going to be me trying to get these earrings out of my ears. Oh. Okay, so that's a thing. What happened here? Did you do the thing? No? Oh, it just came out. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the rest of the show. Okay. Oh, it wasn't closed. That's why. Ha! All right. Nope, that's backwards. So I put the earring thing back on. So this is like a preview. But in the Patreon version of this, all the breathing and the face making is supplemented with the profanity that I'm not currently saying. So just think about the things that not even Bruce Willis, who swears a lot. Oh, not even South Park. I swear better than I am a very inventive swearer, cusser. So, the first video, because let me tell you, these suckers, they're really hard to take off. And I decided I took a nap this afternoon and I was taking the earrings out. I was swearing at the mirror. And my poor husband had already dozed off a little bit earlier. And he's like, are you okay? I'm like, don't talk to me right now. It's like, okay. Get the earrings out. I took my nap. I was like, I'm sorry. Those earrings. Pretty much. And then the videos are going to be, me, either ranting about the earrings, but swearing about things. That it'll be this. So the ongoing, everybody gets access to the bonus videos that involve me cussing about something. And then at higher levels, there will be access to the carpool, which is going to be, hopefully, a podcast of me on the way to work. Because let me tell you, nothing gets me cussing faster than people who cruise in the passing lane. That's not what it's for. It's not for cruising along. The passing lane is for passing. Like, this is not rocket surgery. The passing lane is where you go faster so that you can get around the other car and then get back in the traveling lane, people. Y'all, it frustrates me more than OBS does. And that's a lot. I do. I have a patron. And I have a patron who got a very fine hat, which almost got me there. Oh, buddy, I think you're wrong. Oh, I don't know. Well, one of the things we found is when we try to record something, like I'll put my laptop on the seat next to me and like run Audacity, and I'll take the blue snowball and be like, put it in the cup holder and you fridge it. Or the one time I had it down on my lap, which probably isn't legal, but we're figuring things out as we go here. So anyway, but when I'm recording, the traffic was great. So I don't know, that might have been a coincidence 2 or 3 times. Rocket surgery, exactly, Radical Bacon. But I will take it, if it results in not having as many swears during the podcast, y'all just have to deal with it. And I will be very happy to have fewer patrons and fewer people cruising in the passing lane. I'm telling you. All right, so more news. The wireless electric vehicle charging road. I think where are we here? I think that's in. Am I going to ruin everything here? Nope, can't see it. Click the link. Do I want to open this link? Yes, that's why I clicked it. Duh. Oh, wow, it's opening. Shoot. I don't want it to open there. Whoops. Anyway, so it's in Michigan. I was thinking it was in Michigan, but I wasn't 100% sure. Yes, so like they have this pavement for the road that will charge electric vehicles. What? Like, that is so cool. Or theoretically, that's what it's supposed to do. And they're going to be building it in Michigan. That's so amazing. And, roads typically aren't, they make sure that the roads aren't covered by branches, especially like up in the north, because during the winter you get snow and the snow on the branches go and the ice, it makes the branches go down onto the road and the road's blocked. Can't have that. So roads tend to be open to the sky and thus to the sun. And that's just, I'm so excited. I'd heard about this as a possibility, using roads for solar panels a couple of years ago. And I was just like, that's a nice idea. I don't know that it'll ever become a thing, but now it's going to be a thing. And I'm really excited to see how it goes. Actually, I think it's kind of turquoise. Like, it's a little bit greener than this. Okay, don't be weirded out, y'all. I think it's about this color. Anyway, so that's my Saturday 6. But as it happens, there's a 7. So, yesterday, we, as a family, went to talk to a lawyer. And we are going to go on Tuesday. We signed paperwork. On Tuesday, we're going to go to family court. Guys, I'm going to be a mommy. So, we have, I don't know if you've heard voices, like not, voices, but, sometimes people chit-chatting out there. We have a young person who's been living with us, and she's going to be our daughter. That's going to be Tuesday. And I thought about, adding this on to one of my Saturday 6 for the next one. But I was like, I don't want to wait that long to tell everybody. So I'm so excited. I'm about to cry. Yes. So I'm going to be a mom. I'm so excited. And this is an adult adoption, so I get to be a mom. I didn't have to do any of the really, really hard stuff. No labor, no pregnancy, no birth, none of that. No diapers. Actually, I had a dream about diapers during my nap. What was that? We were fostering somebody. Looked kind of like Boo, with the brown hair and the little pigtails. And I was trying to work out childcare, and one of the other teachers had a kid that she was watching during the day, and I was going to have her watch this kid while I was teaching. Although now in retrospect, I'm like, why was she available to watch this kid in her house when she's a teacher too? IDK. Yes, Black Cover 95. This is my first offspring, I guess. So, I'm really, really happy about this and excited, and we've been sort of thinking about it and talking about it for a while. And the lawyer had originally said that, wasn't, since it's an adult adoption, there's no custody issues. We don't have to notify anybody that, it's not a minor. So this just sort of, it's, it doesn't change a whole lot legally because she's already, we don't really get any rights that we would otherwise like not have. I think she'll inherit should we die, which means she'll get more debt. I guess. But for the most part, it's not going to change a whole lot. Because she's already living with us and we're already, working together as a family. But it's just going to be a nice way of, we're all, like I said, we're already a real family. But this makes it official. And it's nice to have that kind of acknowledgement. And it'll feel less weird to talk about just to say my daughter. And not have to say, well, my sort of daughter or my not daughter or, so-and-so who is living with us or anything like that. It's just my daughter. And that'll just make it so much easier. And, a little odd because we have nephews and nieces. She's going to be older than all of them. So it's amusing in that way too. I think the oldest nibbling we've got is 14 now, and she's 19, so she'll be older than them. So yeah, it's been a week, you guys. So I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. Let me go back to general use. There we are. Look at that. Now I can I even it out some? Hi, Tiger. Hi, Happy Mailbox. My daughter to be, IDK. My daughter, is there something like fiance, daughter say? I don't know. So, Scott G, possibly. I don't know. Honestly, I'm so excited about it that it's probably just going to make its way onto the channel, whatever I've got. So I don't know. I don't know that I'll pay all that. And she is more of, she's such a gentle soul that I don't really swear around her. So she will not be involved in the cussing, I think. So I don't know. I don't know if that'll be a patron thing. Pending daughter. Yeah, I'll have to look into some, pull up the source.com or something. Oh yeah. No, daughter's the thing. That's what we're going for. But we are hoping to go to Disney World this summer as a family, and that's it's going to be really fun and exciting. Yeah. I can hear her and just listening to her voice makes me smile. So, I will, and so So we were talking about, so yeah, I found out on Friday, gosh, just yesterday after school, that it was court was gonna be Tuesday morning. My first thought was, oh crap, I don't have a sub. Literally. Because I was like, oh man, what if they give? I'm like, they wouldn't give me crap about this, but they wouldn't give me crap. They would be like, hopefully they'd be supporting. But I don't have a sub, which means I gotta cover my classes. But fortunately, the lawyer said that court, since it's pretty much a formality, um, excuse me, I had a nap and everything, so it will probably take just a few minutes. Which means I'm like thinking through, and I'm like, okay, so I can go right back. And I really want to go right back because I want to, like bust back into my class and be like, hey guys, guess what? I'm a mommy. And I get to tell all my students, and I'm so excited, and tell all of my colleagues. Oh gosh, it's gonna be so much fun. So I'm not planning to take the day off because like it's like the next school day, because of course we have Monday off for President's Day. So I think she's a little bit disappointed about that, hoping that we could do something. But we're probably gonna do something that evening, which means I also need to tell the Livestrong group, because that's Tuesday, Thursday. I need to email the group coordinator there, because I told her that I told her on Thursday that we were going to see the lawyer on Friday. I'm like, I'm really excited about this, but I'm trying not to say too much about it, like, because nothing's official at this point. This was like before we went to the lawyer and signed the papers. So yeah, it's surreal. Like I can feel, just talking about it, my pulse rate is increasing, and just So I am going to minimize my Saturday 6 windows because I don't need that anymore. So I'm kind of paying attention to the chat right now, and I would love to know what things of yours have been going on that are positive news for you. Obviously, Sarah's positive news is that she's going out to eat to a British pub, because she's in California, of course, and that's like Mecca of British pub land. I am, like, almost, Andrew. Like, hit rewind. I'm gonna be a mommy on Tuesday. Homebody, that is a great word for vomit. That one, and herk. H-U-R-K. Herk. Hi, Andrew, by the way. So, I think she's been asked in part to go along, or that may have been part of why they chose the British pub, is to get her view on how authentic it is. Andrew, seriously, it's me. It's me. I'm going to be a mommy on Tuesday, like officially. Oh, Scott, that's fantastic. And, give him a big hug. I don't know, maybe it's not the hugging sort, but, give him whatever sort of hug would be appropriate for him. And yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm going to have an official legal daughter, as opposed to, I'm going to be a legal mommy on Tuesday, as opposed to, an illegal mommy. Yeah, I think so too. So, there's lots of, I'm really happy about it. And like, chosen family is so nice, y'all. Radical Bacon, now I'm terribly curious. Is this Steve as we know him, or is this very small Steve? Because let me tell you, I was the pictures of very small Steve that we got were nice, but I liked the little baseball cap picture with Pap zipping his coat up. I thought that was really cute. Oh, yay! Yes, all of my grandparents are gone. My husband's dad's dad and mom's mom are still around. So we do have some grands in the family. And then, of course, our parents are now grandparents again, or about to be. So, yay. Oh, Radical Bacon. Speaking of which, do you have a Patreon? Because let me tell you, I mean, the Steve Shive story paintings I mean, those might fetch a nice NFT price. Yes, Andrew. She was here. Was she still here when I started the bit about adopting? I don't know if she got that. So Andrew, you might have to tell. You might get to be the one to break that news to her. Radical Bacon, are you gonna give him elf ears? No, I don't think so. Even if I was abruptly independently wealthy, I don't think I would quit teaching. I probably wouldn't swear in class still. But I would likely be more outspoken in some situations. We'll leave it at that. And the big part of, I mean, obviously, aside from keeping my job, computers are a big one. As you saw when I was, why isn't the sound working? I have a not quite a smart board. It's called a ViewSonic board, and it's basically like a giant touchscreen phone. So sometimes it doesn't work the way I want it to. Let's say that. It's got a little bit of a delay. When you click, it takes a little bit for it to register. And I am not good at being patient. So I tell my students that it's okay. This is an opportunity for me to practice and improve my skill at being patient. And I think like Wednesday or Thursday, I was like, why is this? Okay, it's fine. And they're like, Ms. Cole, this is an opportunity for you to practice being patient. I'm like, yes. I should be grateful for this. So, they've picked up on the humor of that. And I hope I'm modeling. What I want to model is that, unfortunately, kids, when you grow up, life doesn't just get easy. Okay? You don't have all the answers. Or you have all the answers. They're just not ones that everybody else accepts. For whatever reason. Like, you can be right about a lot of things, and other people won't accept it. It's really frustrating when that happens. And so learning how to deal with that is a vitally important life skill. Lord, just thinking about it just raises the hackles. Irish. Note the quotes. Yeah, we get a lot of those quotes. Okay. Well, it is now officially after 7 o'clock. I'm ready to call it a night. I've had a nap. I'm still a little bit sleepy. Haven't decided what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll read some. I've started reading Roxanne An Indigenous People's History of the United States. So, pretty cool. I never did. That's what I'll do. I did not listen to the podcast, which was a lot of fun to do. I got to be as neurotic. That's how I am all the time for that podcast, you guys. I'm just like, what are we doing? Which episode is this? What do I need to write down? Notes. Oh, that's not notes for that. That's for pancakes. It's just notes. Here we go. This is the notes for the show, you guys. With family charts. Benny Goodman. Oh, the names of the Elf on the Shelves. because Steve's mom, whose name I cannot remember, is like super into Christmas, like mid 20th century Christmas specifically. Jason is fond of her Christmas dinners, which include marshmallow madness, prune salad supreme, tomato and sprouts en gelée. I don't know if either of them know about this, but I looked up recipes. Ruth Johnson. It's in the notes. See? There you go. That's why I take notes, you guys, because I don't remember things. I'm so bad about it. And then I go and I look at the comments, and they're like, why is Dana saying thus and such? And I'm just like, I screwed up again. And so they're like, okay, Dana, you're going to tell us, what's going on in, like, Star Trek. And I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, no. And I'm just like, I don't know things. I don't know things. Like, I know that we're, I know the difference between, like, a quadrant and a system. Which one are we in? I don't know. Oh, golly. Well, Black Cover 95, neither have I. But I was able to take all of the, wait, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Yeah. Ruth, see, exactly. I got it, Steve. By the time you had that in there, I'd already got it because of the delay. All right. Oh, Steve, you have too many moms. Andrew, Debbie Shives is Steve's mom on as the professional YouTuber. Ruth Johnson is, well, not Ensign Johnson's mom because he's not an ensign right now. He is a probationary officer Johnson's mom. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to go listen to some ensign's log. Bye, folks. It was wonderful to be able to share that news with you, and thank you all for being so supportive. And oh yeah, don't forget to leave me comments, y'all. I know my last video was not super exciting. It was just like MLA format and stuff, but it didn't have as many comments. But that's okay. The next video, totally worth it. Lots of comments for that one. Good night, everybody. Oh, this is the button, right? Yeah. Okay, for real.